Well, hi-ho folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi, Turwinkle.
Hi there.
Are you all set for today, sir?
Indubitably.
Well, great, because as you can see, we are in Ironforge here, but we will be switching over to our Sluffy disguise, and we'll be heading out to the Twilight Highlands to meet an awesome Horde-side guild called the Masks of Nyarlathotep, or something along those lines. You'll find out when we talk to the guild leader, and you'll find out why I can't pronounce it. And I doubt you'll be able to, too, until you hear the pronunciation from the wonderful guild leader of that awesome guild. Again, a Horde-side guild. We're going to go meet them, find out what they're all about, and let you folks know how you can join in their fun. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks. Well, here we are with our Sluffy disguise on, and we are here in the Twilight Highlands, and right next to the tentacle of Osirith. Okay. And right up front here, this awesome guild is Darklin. He's the master of the Masks of, and how do you pronounce that, sir?
Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep. Is that close?
Close enough for government.
There we go. He's a level 100 Blood Elf Warlock. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and a perfect setting for your guild, is it not?
Oh, by far.
Oh, excellent, and we're going to find out more about that as we go along, folks. But before we get started with that, let us meet the folks that you've brought with you, sir. And again, you folks don't have to step forward. I will do all the moving for you. So let us meet who you've brought with you, sir.
On the far to my right is Flouting. We met her first in Siege of Orgrimmar. We were just pugging around and taking this other guild with us. So we met her through a priest. I think his name was Viscosity or something of the sorts. He's no longer with us. But Flouty stuck around. Flouty came from a guild that was full of drama and just backstabbing, and joined a guild that was literally based around backstabbing, but far less drama.
Oh, excellent. That's always nice, isn't it?
It is, especially, I mean, she had experience in the matter, so, I mean, she fit right in.
Alrighty, and next?
Lox here, I met through her paladin Atheniel, who wasn't exactly a very good fit for the Masks of Nyarlathotep. She was a very goody two-shoes, and there was very little room for corruption. But her villain that she provided for her own character proved a much better foundation for us to work with, and has been with us for at least, I'd say, two years, I think. I'm really horrible with time. It's just way too fluid.
Wow, okay. Excellent. And next?
Nixit here, the Goblin Hunter, has been with us on a variety of characters over the past 2 or 3 years. She has her moments of disappearances, but always seems to return, and we're always thankful to see her come back. She hasn't really raided with us, but she's always been there for RP events, even if it's just to spy on.
Okay, excellent. And and next?
Next we have Kallian. She is a new recruit. We met her during a little gathering that we had recently done for our return to Azeroth, and she introduced us to another guild that we won't mention, but we just weren't exactly on good terms with. But in the end, we managed to save her from the whole mess, and now she's one of us.
One of us. One of us. Excellent. And next?
Zinna here we actually managed to find her through the forums, which is one of our first forum recruits. That was a really cool experience. We are helping her to develop her character and to basically make her the best that we can possibly use. She's kind of leaning more towards unholy, so we're thinking more of a necromancer-like design, but we'll make sure to stay within the boundaries of lore for that.
Oh, awesome. Alrighty, and next?
Repka here has a very interesting story. We first met her on her rogue Slura, and it wasn't necessarily an instant guild invite. We had to actually work for and provide a storyline and show her that we're actually pretty cool and pretty awesome and willing to RP with people who weren't part of the guild, which is something we're big on. And we managed to get her into the recruits, and she's basically become Darklin's consort of sorts, in the fact that she actually has his attention, which is very difficult to maintain.
Oh, alright. And next?
This is Pandemonus, but he is better known as Varen, the doctor. He's performed many of our experiments. He was one of the lead minds behind our Silithid story arc, where we were kidnapping people from Silvermoon, having them ingest mind-altering chemicals. They also had Silithid eggs inside them. And then if the mind control potion didn't work, then they would have bugs living inside their bowels and stomach, and they would literally try to chew themselves out. So, I mean, they would either die or serve.
Wow, okay. All right. And next?
Xanakrel, he was actually one of the longer recruits in regards to the questions he had for the guild, which were all very in-depth and precise. He at first didn't really think of joining the guild, but he decided later that even if he wasn't going to RP to the ripe level of, I think it was 65, could be 75, that he would still like to have a home with us. So he's an OOC member currently, but we're looking forward to seeing him IC once he gets to the proper power level.
All right. And last but not least, sir.
Arwina. Arwina has been with us since forever, really. I mean, we've had trouble getting them to show up to RP events just because of the fact that if we would be in Draenor, they'd be in Azeroth, or things just wouldn't mix up because a lot of our storyline took place in Draenor, and Arwina never went through the Dark Portal. So I mean, it was just really complicated. But they've been a very loyal member and a pleasure to have around, and always eager to have a conversation if you can get their attention.
All right, well, excellent. So there you go, folks, a fine group of role players here in this awesome guild. And again, we are going to find out all about that guild coming up next. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Darklyn, first and foremost, how did you come up with the name Masks of Nyarlathotep? Again, Nyarlathotep. That's as close as I can get it. And what does it mean?
The name was a representation of our desire to follow the old gods. The ones instilled in WoW lore are fine and dandy, but the one that really caught my interest when I read H.P. Lovecraft was the Crawling Chaos. He wanted the destruction of the world just as much as the other old gods did, but his methods were so very different. He didn't want this godlike apocalypse to just crush out humanity and everything to be ruined and just this paradise for the old gods, you know. That's what most old gods want. Nyarlathotep was different because he would walk the world in the guise of a man, and he would instill chaos wherever he went. He would literally cause them to lose the boundaries, their moral boundaries, to where they would spread his word and his enlightenment. And eventually the world was drowned out in this hunger, this chaos, that it would destroy itself. Like, let's say a nuclear arms race for our world, you know? I mean, the nukes would be flying everywhere. It would be constant destruction, but it would be by mankind's own hand. And that is what we wanted to instill with the guild name.
Oh, wow, okay. And so what kind of guild is it? Is it a social guild, a heavy roleplay, medium, light? Do you guys PvP, PvE? What kind of guild is it?
I would say some mixture between heavy and medium, more so medium though, just due to the fact that we do have an RP channel that we make use of. We roleplay within the world, and we just try to include as many people as we possibly can. We have dreams of raiding again, like we did in Siege of Orgrimmar, and that we would probably find an easier time doing at the end of this expansion. But so far that hasn't come to bear fruit, but we still hope.
All right, excellent. And so when we come back, folks, we're going to talk about the backstory behind the guild and give you folks a little taste of their history and where they've come from as far as their storyline is concerned. So we'll be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. And sir, we had someone show up here. Who do we have?
This is Turwinkle. He is somewhat of a newer recruit, definitely this expansion. He is named off a lesser old god, I believe it is. A greater old one, I believe they're called. But it's in more H.P. Lovecraft lore, and he saw the name and he just had to join.
All right, awesome. All right, sir. Let me get situated back over here. Whoop. All right. Now, we're talking the history or the storyline behind the guild. So, what is that?
If we went back to the beginning, it would be first a very small spidering network of contacts that Darkland would have used to create a puppet organization in order to lead behind various characters. And he's known as the dealer because he gives people what they want. But as we all know, sometimes what we want is the worst thing for us.
Oh, that's very true.
He gave people what they wanted, and in return they would owe him a debt. The debt could be anything. It could be the fact that a cup of tea, or the fact that they might have to give their life in order to save him. And that has saved him numerous times. But slowly, as the organization grew and puppets at the head were disappearing or becoming disobedient, Darkland finally took the reins and led with his actual face instead of just being a shadowy figure in the background. The guild grew based on the fact that Darkland has this hunger inside, this desire to consume. And he shares that with those close to him, this desire, disease. And he wants to give it to everyone. He wants everyone to have it. He wants towns to desire the wealth of farms and other towns nearby, and them to just take what they feel is theirs. The strong ruling over the weak, causing just untold chaos. And he wants to share it with everyone. He wants to give it around. He wants everyone to know this emptiness that just calls for more, this emptiness that can't be sated or filled. He wants people to hunger. He wants the world to tear out its own throat with a smile on its face.
Wow. Okay. So, folks, there you have it. Wow. So, when we come back, we're going to find out how you, if you like this kind of role play and are interested in this unique style, this little darker side to role play, how you can join this guild. So, we'll talk about those prerequisites next. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Darkland, I am watching this episode. I love the dark concept behind the guild, and I want to participate in that. And so, first and foremost, who do I talk to?
Turwinkle, we've made that very easy. Everyone in the guild is capable of inviting. Does that mean they should? That's iffy, but everyone is capable of inviting.
Oh, excellent. So anyone in the guild can give an invite out to somebody they find worthy. Is that correct?
Yes, and I mean, just because you're invited doesn't mean you'll stay, but it does mean you have a chance.
Now, is there an age restriction getting into the guild?
We typically say 18 or older, but we have made exceptions to the rule due to the fact that they showed high level of maturity and they didn't mind the coarse language. I mean, we say that we're adult themed, but most people come to rather naughty ideas when you say that. But we're mostly about graphic violence and gore, and that's more so the thing that we would prefer people to be over 18 for. But if they seem to have a high level of maturity, then we make the exception and they get in.
Alrighty, sir. Now, is there a class or race restriction?
Well, to be honest, Turwinkle, I have dreams of a 20-man mythic of only warlocks come Legion. So I would prefer, as you can see with everyone here, that we have lots of warlocks, but we don't have 20 yet. So I mean, there's still time to join. You'll get elevated status by being a warlock. Blood elves are pretty important too. We like blood elves, especially the female ones, as you can see. I'm kidding. We take everyone. We would love to have more undead. We'd love to have. I don't really see. Do we even have a Torn in the guild? I don't know. I don't think we have a Torn. we take anyone though.
Do you have pandas, sir?
Oh, we take pandas too, but I mean, pandas are the most evil of all the races. You know that, don't you?
And how so, sir?
The fact that they've not only driven races to extinction, but the fact that, I mean, like, just the way they manipulate the other races of their own little thing. They weren't the rulers of Pandaria, correct? So why is it called Pandaria if the pandas weren't in charge? That means their lore masters, their propaganda experts, have changed the entire name of a continent to hide its past.
Wow. All right. That's awesome. Now, is there a level requirement to get into the guild, sir?
No level requirement at all. We take anyone and everyone who is willing. All
right. Now, when I join, is there an in-character or out-of-character interview?
Not necessarily an in-character. I mean, you have to get initiated into the guild. So, I mean, I guess you could say that's your interview. But there is a very lengthy OOC process where I ask you questions, you ask me questions, and it's really a test, and I hope everyone brings their number 2 pencil.
All right, and what are you looking for in that out-of-character interview?
How many walkers they've killed, how many people, and why, the reasons why. But the real thing we're aiming for is the fact that they don't god mode. That's the biggest thing, that you're lore abiding.
Excellent. And finally, do I have to know how to roleplay to be in the guild?
Not at all. We are more than willing to teach and help out. We would love to help you establish a character, create an identity. We offer lessons, essentially. I mean, we would help anyone, even if they weren't in the guild, to RP.
I always love to hear folks helping other folks learn how to roleplay. That is wonderful. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about, now that I've made it, Sluffy's made it into the guild, what are the rules we have to follow now that we're part of the Masks? And so we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, we are back. And so, Darkland, I've made it into the guild. So let us talk about the rules that I have to follow now that I'm part of the guild. Well, first and foremost, what are the in-character rules that I have to follow?
The largest rule would probably be the fact that you don't advertise you're part of a cult or that you're part of this evil-themed organization. You don't want everyone to know that we're doing this or that. You don't tell our plans. You don't tell our secrets. We need you to be subtle. You can be vague. I mean, it's all about subterfuge.
Okay, yeah, you don't talk about Fight Club, is that correct?
Yeah, you don't talk about Fight Club. I mean, in the first or second rule, I mean, you can bring people to Fight Club, but you don't talk about it.
Alrighty, are there any other in-character rules, sir?
We would prefer you're as lore-abiding as possible. I mean, it's very important to never do what the lore says you can't, but be creative on what it says, what it doesn't say. I mean, you're allowed to write it in your own little areas in that regard, but you can't break lore. That's one of our big rules. You can't God mode, you can't metagame.
Alrighty, sir, and so what are some of the out-of-character rules that you guys have?
Something that we always have to remember is that when dealing with events that might not be to our liking is that we can't just give an emotional response, that we really try to promote logic and literacy on all issues. And this goes as far as dealing with people OOC-ly, or even in trade, for instance, like just the trolling, or just people anywhere. I mean, it's really important that we try to maintain a level of clear-headedness.
Oh, that's perfect, sir. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to let the trolls get you down, is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't want to go to their level, and, I mean, if you go down to their level, they just beat us with experience, right?
Exactly, sir. Well said. All right, there you go, folks. Some awesome rules that pretty much anyone could follow. And so when we come back, we'll find out about the ranks that are in the guild and how you can get promoted within them. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Darkland, I'm brand new to the guild, and so where am I placed as far as ranks is concerned?
When you first join the Masks, you are considered to meet.
Did you say meat, sir?
Meet, yes, meet.
Okay, and how long are you meat?
Until you have your first roleplay event with us, when you're first introduced to the guild.
Alrighty, and then where do you go from there?
You become a sacrifice.
Okay, and how long are you a sacrifice for?
The sacrifice varies. I mean, it's more so that you prove your use. I mean, at this point, you're entirely expendable. I mean, if there's a suicide mission, you're on it. Definitely.
Wow, okay. So, gotta survive the suicide mission to get to the next rank, which is what?
Initiate.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so I've made it to the initiate rank, and how long are you an initiate for?
The initiate, it can vary. I mean, it's more we don't necessarily go by time lengths, like you have to be this for this long before you're able to move up to this one. But it's more about character development and experiences with other guild members. I mean, it's not necessarily rated by time. It's I mean, how's that phrase go? That it's not the time in years, it's the I don't even know how it goes. But it's basically saying that you live life not in years, but in experiences.
All right, perfect. And so what's the next rank above that?
The next rank above that is actually Friend OC, which is what we have for people who want to be part of the guild but don't really want to roleplay. We just put them there for the time being, and eventually they can either join us and become a sacrifice, or they can just sit at OC for a while. We wanted it a little higher so that way they didn't feel need to climb the ranks, but it's up for change.
Okay, so it's kind of a sub-rank in a way that you can kind of sidestep into, is that correct?
Exactly, yes. Instead of being a sacrifice, you would become a Friend OOC and never move forward.
Okay, and so above that, sir, what do we got?
We have cultists. Cultists are the kind of like the gears of the organization. They keep everything turning and working and doing this or that. They're the true believers in the cause. But we have a few ranks that we're going to be changing out as well that I'm not going to be bringing up. But other than that, it's necessary for the cultists to be true in their faith.
Okay, kind of the backbone of the guild, is that correct?
Exactly. It's the difference between certain religions, theistic, and the philosophic version. The cultists are definitely the theists. They're the ones who believe in what's happening.
All right, excellent. And above that rank, sir?
We have speakers, the ones who spread the word. They're the officers.
Alrighty, and what are they responsible for, sir?
They are spreading the word. They're capable of making the okay decision if we keep a recruit. Their voices carry a little more weight than, let's say, the cultists. They are there to basically spread the word of the master and guild events.
And above that, sir?
We have a consort, which only one person has, and that's currently my girlfriend. As I said, the ranks are being restructured, but I actually moved everyone in the guild down to meet due to the fact that we were restructuring and we didn't know who was going to be active, who was going to do this or that, because we've been expanding aggressively, and we've come a long ways, as you can see with our roster here before you.
And so restructuring is always good sometimes to give the guild a good footing. And so, excellent. And then finally, I would assume the guild master himself. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. As for the consort, I mean, there was another character up for running in there. I mean, we were considering putting Varen or Pandemonus. So far, he just hasn't met the criteria, but, I'm holding out.
Okay, excellent. And how do you take over the guild, sir?
That is very easy and has been done multiple times.
And what is that, sir?
It's basically you take out the figureman, the puppet at the time. For instance, Rillatum, a rogue, was leading the guild for a while, and there was a nice little coup d'etat, and Varen ended up being one of the people in charge for a good bit of time. He was a guild leader and everything. He literally took control and started having his own little plots. And
how did you end him, sir?
Darklyn stepped in. Darklyn came out of the shadows and decided, you know what, I'm going to rule this little organization, and Varen decided that it was more fun messing with things in the background than it was actually leading. Alrighty,
well, excellent. And so, folks, when we come back, we are going to talk about guild events that the Masks participate in. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and we are talking about guild events. And so, Darklyn, what type of guild events do the Masks participate in?
One of the best ones we had was a kidnapping from Silvermoon, which I mentioned earlier, but I'm going to have Varen talk about that since he was one of the masterminds behind it.
Alrighty, Varen, go ahead and fill us in, sir.
Well, essentially what we had done was we had gone into Ankarash, the Old Kingdom, and we had discovered some interesting little things about some of the Silithids and the fact that they can actually live inside of a human and or humanoid host. So we developed a little hallucinogenic drug that would essentially be injected into one of the hosts or host bodies or kidnapped victims, as Darklyn so eloquently put it, and sort of let the bugs take their course. The hallucinogen had the possibility of sort of influencing a decision toward, let's say, joining the Masks through listening to the whispers and that sort of thing. And if that were to fail, we had a fallback, which was the bugs inside you slowly and assuredly trying to eat their way out. And the only real way to get them out was through surgery that only Varen knew how to do.
Ah, okay. Wow. All right. It sounds like a very interesting event. Sir, now, Darklyn, do you guys do guild meetings, that sort of thing?
It depends. I mean, the easiest answer is yes, but I mean, we have them planned weekly, but there's a lot of spontaneous RP that happens during the week, too.
Oh, awesome. Now, you guys talked a little bit about Mythic raiding and doing some raiding, and you guys have some future plans for that in Legion, correct?
Yes, the Mythic raiding was with 20 Warlocks, and that's our recruiting drive, is that we're trying to get as many Warlocks as possible.
All right. Now, do you guys do any PvE events, such as running dungeons for transmog gear, that sort of thing?
Oh, yes, definitely. We run them weekly. We also have inebriated dungeon runs on the weekends.
Oh, explain that, sir.
What we do is that we encourage the people who are over 21 to consume alcohol to the point where they're inebriated and slurring their words. And then we do LFR, or we do dungeons, or we just have a wonderful good time that is just amazing for us and potentially horrible for anyone who gets in the way of it. Time walking is one of our favorites. We're going back, because I mean, they're so easy to do, but intoxicated, it adds a whole new level.
Okay, certainly. All right, there you go, folks. Now, your calendar is pretty busy, is it not?
Yes and no. I mean, like I said, it's more spontaneous than it is planned. When you plan things, it becomes not necessarily boring, but preconceived. I mean, it's not necessarily as alive. When it's spontaneous, I mean, we can get people who are just out there doing nothing, or people who are RPing the RP channel. Slowly we begin to flock to wherever the setting is, and we actually roleplay in character.
All right, and sometimes that spontaneous tends to be a little bit more fun, doesn't it?
It really does. It adds it adds a whole thing to it. I mean, you plan something out, it becomes premeditated in the courtroom.
All righty, folks. There you have it, some fun events for the Guild. And so when we come back, we are going to talk about the current storyline of the Masks. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and we are talking about the current storyline of the Guild, and we are talking to Rebecca about that. So, ma'am, fill us in.
Recently, the Mask got involved with spreading various diseases on Draenor. Many of the members ended up being stranded here. They made the crossing, some with the initial wave of heroes, some in the successive waves over to Draenor. And they started developing parasites based on the various species of fungi that inhabit Draenor. We've seen them in quest lines, particularly in Gorgrond, the red fungus, for example. So we worked on developing them as bioweapons. And after some amount of experimentation, we started missing Azeroth, so we've been working on a plan to make our return, so to speak. That, unfortunately, is not so simple. It's not just a mage portal and knowing the right runes. To actually shift our seat of power is going to take a major guild effort, and it's going to be a plot that involves everyone from the greatest member to the least. And Darklyn himself has actually started to communicate with new contacts back on Azeroth to make that happen. So to facilitate it, we'll have to collect various artifacts, we'll have to make new contacts, new actions will have to be undertaken, and I'm sort of in charge of the structure of the story. I come up with a lot of story elements. I'm also an artist, so I have an actual vision for how these events are going to unfold, so I more or less work behind the scenes with Darklyn a lot to basically craft our guild storylines.
Oh, excellent. So, folks, if you join now, you can be able to participate in this fun storyline. I can't wait to hear how that turns out. So when we come back, folks, we are going to talk to the individual members about what they enjoy about being in this guild. And we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And we are at probably my favorite part of the interview. That's where we talk to members about why they're in the guild they are in. Because there are literally hundreds of guilds they could have been in, but they've chosen this one. And so up first we have Lox. She is Meat of the Masks. She's a Lox of the Nightfall, a level 94 Blood Elf Death Knight. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. It's good to talk with you.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful to talk to you as well. And so, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in the Masks?
I really enjoy there not being tons of drama. That's what I like most about it. Everybody's very, very nice.
Oh, well, excellent. Yeah, there's nothing worse than being in a guild that has a lot of drama in it, is there?
It just makes the experience so bad. It's not fun anymore after people get drama-ish.
That's right. So that is an excellent answer. Thank you very much, ma'am. Alrighty, folks, up next is Floutzy. He is a cultist of the Mass. It's Floutzy, Liberator of Orgrimmar, a level 100 Goblin Warlock, and unfortunately does not have access to a mic at the moment, but she has written her answer to Darklyn, and so Darklyn, what does she say about what she enjoys about being in the guild?
She was tired of hardcore raiding and wanted to try something new and difficult. She had never done RP before, so she flipped a coin and ended up here. After having done essentially everything in Mists of Pandaria, she was pretty tired of the nice and college RP type groups and finding a guild that would tolerate an RP newbie who also wanted to raid was a great find. The dark nature of the RP appealed to her, and she's found many raiding RP friends here who have turned into real life friends.
Alright, that is an excellent answer. Thank you very much, Floutzy. Alrighty, folks. Up next is Nixit. She is a sacrifice of the mass. She's Nixit, of the Nightfall. She's a level 100 Goblin Hunter. Hello, ma'am.
Hey there, Chief. What's up?
Alrighty, ma'am. Well, again, love the Hunter outfit here. This is great. How long did it take you to put together?
I just collect transmogs, and I actually didn't even plan on wearing this. I just had it on at the moment.
Okay. Just something you threw together. Is that correct?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, what do you enjoy about being in the Masks?
The Masks are a group of great people. I spent a lot of time in my Warcraft career basically like hopping from guild to guild to guild. Even the ones I've been close to and all kind of just died out. And I think that this guild has easily been the only one I've been with for the longest and all. And they've been great. I get a lot of laughs from them and stuff. Their RP events and all are really interesting and stuff. And I've even did a narration for the request of the guild leader and all. It's called Gateway to the Mind. I'm also a creepypasta narrator and all, and I do voice work and all. You might not be able to tell right now because I'm a little bit of a mess right now, but yeah, I've got my own channel and stuff, and I'm glad to do things like that for them and all, because they're great guys, you know. It's a good guild.
Oh, well, excellent. And real quick, what's your channel name?
My channel name is Lady Mischievous 577 on YouTube.
And it's a wonderful, wonderful channel, folks, so do go check it out and subscribe if you like. So thank you very much, ma'am.
And thank you, sir.
All right, folks, up next is Kylan. Meat of the Mass is Kylan of Nightfall, a level 95 Blood Elf Rogue. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
And so, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in the Mass?
I've always liked the whole darker side to the RP that they have going on here, and the guild that I was in before here had a lot of god motors, let's say. So I really like the community around here and how they make sure that everybody's comfortable in what we're doing.
All right, well, that is an excellent, excellent answer, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All righty, folks, up next is Zanara, Meat of the Mass. Zin is a level 59 Blood Elf Death Knight, and unfortunately, again, does not have a mic, but Darklyn has written her answer. What does she say, sir?
She likes how helpful the guild is, especially with character development. She loves the roleplay and how fun everyone is.
Oh, excellent. I like that. To the point. Excellent answer, Zin. Excellent answer indeed. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks. Up next is Arwena. She's a friend and OOC of the Mass. It's Chef Arwena. She's a level 100 Blood Elf Warlock. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine. And so, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in this guild?
Well, what can I say besides here be grumpkins and snarks, and some really nice people?
All right. Well, that is an excellent, excellent answer, ma'am. Thank you very much.
And you are so welcome. Was there anything else?
No, that will do, ma'am. That will do. Thank you again. Alrighty, folks. Up next is Rebecca, Consort of Mass, Legionnaire Rebecca, level 100 Orc Warlock. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. And so, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in the Mass?
The Mask is a place where I feel free to be myself. I can be as evil as I wish, and there are few who would whine or complain about a point that I would argue in guild chat, or say that something I'm doing in roleplay is mean or weird, or we shouldn't be doing that. It's a place where I can be as creative as I wish to be.
Right, because creativity is not only about only doing good things, is that correct?
That's true, and also my unique role in the guild here is to play other characters that function as protagonists for our evil characters to fight against. So I play a multitude of roles here. I can be good, I can be evil, I can be everything in between here.
Oh, wonderful. And that is a great, great answer, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And up next is Pandaemonus, Cultist of the Mass, is the Scourge of the Kaldori, is a level 100 Undead Warlock. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Now, it's a wonderful Texan accent you have. Where in Texas are you from?
I am from Aberdeen, Texas, actually.
Ah, excellent. Excellent. Of course we kid. Where are you from, sir?
Truthfully, I'm from Arizona. My accent is from a long line of family who are immigrants.
Oh, excellent. And is it Irish or Scottish?
It's Irish. If you call it Scottish, I might have to bop you.
Right. And consider me bopped. Alrighty, sir. What do you enjoy about being in this awesome guild?
Anywho, the guild is it's a wonderful place. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of great story. And when we raid, we like to have a lot of fun. We're not a guild that likes to take itself too seriously. We're a guild that likes to, have fun.
All right. Well, that is an excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks. Up next is Xanacryl, Meat of Masks. He's Xanacryl. He's a level 45 Blood Elf Warlock, once again without a mic. So, sir, what does he have to say about what he enjoys about being in the guild?
Well, he's not been in the guild for very long. He must say that he doesn't quite enjoy how friendly everyone is. He also appreciates how well thought out all the transmog sets are. As far as the RP, though, he's found it to be very interesting concept, and he absolutely cannot wait to see how it all pans out.
All right, well, that is a great answer. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks, up last but certainly not least is the guild leader himself, Darklyn, the Master of Masks. Darklyn, the Seeker of Knowledge. He's a level 100 Blood Elf Warlock. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Alright, sir, your question is a little different in that, what do you enjoy about leading this guild?
That's a good question. I mean, I've handed over leadership countless times. I've even accidentally disbanded the guild once. So what do I enjoy about keeping it together? I'd have to say the fact that the people, even after I did disband it, they came back. That all these people who could have gone elsewhere, they waited for the guild to be remade, they waited for me to put all the pieces back together. Without them, there wouldn't be this guild. That's the whole point of it. I mean, every person I recruit is added to the mixing pot, but it's not that anything's ever taken away. None of them are actually lost. Their pieces aren't forgotten. They're still whole. Like Pan said, we accept him because he's the way he is. I mean, Pan is love, Pan is life.
All right, well, that is an excellent answer. And so thank you very much, sir.
No, thank you, Turwinkle, for interviewing me and my guild.
Oh, you bet. The pleasure is mine. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to find out if we missed anything during the interview. And so we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Darklyn, did we miss anything during the interview that you would like people to know about the guild?
Not that I'm aware of.
Alrighty, and so why don't you give a shout out to the community, sir?
Of course. Join us while you can. Make the unwilling worthy to be in his almighty gaze.
There you go, folks. If you like a darker side to roleplay, this is certainly the guild for you. They have a lot of great dark side type roleplay going on here. And so if you're into that more of the darker side, come and join these guys. They're a lot of fun. They're a great group in and out of the game. I've had a blast talking with these guys in the Mumble chat in between segments here, and they are a lot of fun, and they are really a close-knit group. And so come and join them, especially for a different and unique type of role play. And again, you can join them over here on WrA Accord. Isn't that correct, sir?
That is correct.
All right, folks. So with that, we are going to come back in just a few moments, and we're going to give our final goodbye to this great guild, the Masks. And so we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Darklyn, it has been a lot of fun here tonight, sir. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to answer all of Turwinkle's pestering questions. You guys are just awesome. So again, folks, if you're looking for a fun guild to join over here on the Horde-side on WrA Accord, again, check these guys out. If you're looking for a home for your character, a little darker type roleplay, this is certainly the guild for you. So thank you so much, Darklyn.
Oh, believe me, thank you, Turwinkle.
You bet. And so, folks, with that, we are going to hearth on back to Ironforge for our final thoughts on this awesome guild, the Masks.
But you can't leave, Turwinkle. You see? You're part of us. Allow my associate to open your eyes.
No, this only hurt for a second. Come here.
No, that's okay, guys. As much as I'd like to join the guild and all, I would hate to be, a little biased when I'm doing my interviews and stuff. So really, I thank you for the opportunity and all, and yeah. So I'll disappear in the mists.
Well, we at least know where to find them.
We can see you.
Alrighty, folks. Well, boy, we we made it safe and sound back to Ironforge, and boy, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it, Turwinkle?
Affirmative.
You bet. And so let us give the Masks a wonderful thank you, sir.
Allow me to express my deepest thanks.
Again, boy, what the cavern sounds here in Ironforge. Okay, well, excellent job. And yes, certainly, folks, once again, if you're looking for a fun guild, that is certainly one for the books. And so do check them out over on Wormrest Accord on the Horde side if you're looking for a darker type guild. And so with that, folks, if you like this episode, click that like button. If you'd like to comment on this episode or on any of our other episodes, please do so below. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, well, we would love to have you. So hit that subscription button today. Well, excellent job, Turwinkle. And Turwinkle, we will see you next time.
It's been fun.
It has been fun. Bye-bye.